You're watching Poland Daily Business, and we will talk tonight about the reform of Polish government, because it turns out that we have too many ministers, too many deputy ministers. All the procedures are going slowly. So after the presidential election, the ruling coalition, Law and Justice, with its partners, Solidarna Polska, Solidarity Poland, and Porozumienie, or Agreement Party, are talking about more efficient government. Dr. Artur Wroblewski of Lazarski University will tell us a little bit more what they mean by it. Sir, welcome to the show, and please tell, how do you understand this smooth and lean government championed by Jarosław Kaczyński, for example?
Good evening. Thank you for inviting me. I think that it's a very good news to every taxpayer that the bureaucracy will be streamlined and optimized. It's good news because we will be spending less money on the government, on the bureaucracy, on the red tape. But of course, we are aware that this maneuver, to some extent, was dedicated to decrease influence of coalition partners in Polish government. However, from the taxpayers' point of view, less money on the bureaucracy is good news. It's good for our pockets, and it's to some extent the fulfillment of the Peace and Justice Party's promises to spend less money on bureaucracy and to increase efficiency of the administration. So this is like fulfillment of the electoral promises. So we should be happy.
Well, that's true. But is there any thought behind it? Like, is really Polish government too inefficient comparing to other European governments? It's our administration worse off or less performing than, say, model administration like Scandinavian countries, like Denmark?
Unfortunately, of course, we are less efficient if we compare bureaucracy in Poland to bureaucracy in Denmark, for example. We will see an ocean difference between those two countries. Yes, last night I talked to the businessman from Denmark, and we have a huge difference in, for example, the way how taxation offices work and how controls are conducted. And first of all, we have to wait, for example, for construction permits in Poland for months, while in Denmark it is like a split of seconds. So, of course, we still need to do more in terms of digitalization of our economy, so that we can simply do everything what we need in terms of bureaucracy through a click on the computer or on the telephone. And of course, I don't know why. I think it's an issue of mentality, why the bureaucrats are, for example, delaying the process of giving permits. They want to feel important, I think. That's why they are doing everything that is slow. It's completely different in case of Denmark or, for example, the United Kingdom. I think it's a legacy of communist times also, that we have a little bit different mentality, but it's changing. But if you are asking me if we had many ministers and deputy ministers and deputy ministers, of course, this chain of bureaucrats was very long and longer than in other countries. If I remember correctly, in Switzerland or in some other European countries, you have like 12 ministers, and everything is relying on 12 ministers, and everything is working very, very well. We should have more functionaries, public functionaries who are getting paid from our taxes. We should save money on this in order to redistribute money into other areas. So I hope that this coalition streamlining negotiations will benefit us all, and of course will maintain the ruling majority in Polish parliament of those 1 big party and two junior coalition partners, because I think it's a good situation for Poland that we had a change in government in 2015 and we have completely new thinking about strategic issues regarding military, energy sector, economy, everything. Everything changed after 2015, and I think that this continuity after recent election will benefit Poland, and it's always good to change blood in such cases and get new blood and new thinking and new inventions and new people. And this is what happened in 2015 in Poland and will continue. Look on the United States. They changed the president, and actually Trump did a lot of good things for American business. But of course, he made some mistakes regarding COVID-19 and coronavirus handling.
Who didn't? But on one hand, it's a good idea that the government that has already a lot of experiences, the 4 years of the Law and Justice rule, 5 years of Andrzej Duda term, and they pretty much know what to change. On another, where to look for proof that this is a conservative government based on Christian values, than in the number of ministers. I mentioned 12.
Yes, of course, this is the conservative government, the United Right, and it changed this direction. Poland was going into the direction of liberal, progressive ideas, which were to some extent, I think, not very good for our maintaining the identity of our country. And look what happened in the West. The identity of those countries was somehow diminished in recent decades, and I think those countries are in worse position than it would have been.
I'm referring, though, to the number of 12, the 12 apostles that
12
Christ
apostles,
had.
Course, yes.
And the question is, with such a responsibility and such a figure, it may be a problem to find a person of proper kind to man that post of the super ministry. But that's obviously in front of us, and we will see how it will be developed. Artur.
Yeah.
Artur,
yes, we will see.
Artur Wroblewski of the Lazarski University was our guest tonight. Sir, thank you very much for this conversation.
Thank you very much.
And that was it for Poland Daily Business Tonight. Please watch us tomorrow, same time.